Good afternoon. I'm State Senator Scott Bennett, and with my colleagues, we're here today to unveil a more than $1.8 billion inflation alleviating relief plan that is designed to provide real aid to taxpayers and get money back in the hands of our constituents. This is possible because as a state, we've made responsible decisions and balanced budgets. We've paid, excellent point in the back. We've paid our bills. We've seen our credit rating improve, and now we find the state with a sizable surplus. We need to pay that forward by fighting inflation and sending it back to our taxpayers. Each of us is up here with a unique component of this plan, which we filed today. Now I'm going to begin with my part, which is an income tax rebate proposal that would see checks arriving in taxpayers' mailboxes in the fall. Under the plan, each taxpayer would receive $100, plus another $50 for each dependent child, up to 3 children. So for example, a joint filing household with 2 children would get $300. There are, of course, income limits. You wouldn't qualify if you make more than $250,000 as an individual filer or $500,000 as a joint filer. As proposed, more than 97% of Illinois taxpayers would receive a check under this plan. All you have to do is file your taxes. The checks would be automatic. Now, we've been through a lot as a state and as a nation in the last few years. The good economic news that we've experiencing lately needs to be shared directly with our taxpayers, and that's what we're going to be doing with this plan. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Senator L.G. Sims, to go over his part of the bills.
Thank you, Senator Bennett. Good afternoon. L.G. Sims, the State Senator of the 17th District. Now, someone's probably getting ready to ask me if this plan is alternative to the Governor Pritzker's tax relief plan. The answer is no. This plan includes the Governor's ideas and goes farther because we've worked on budgeting and additional resources are available. I'm here carrying 2 initiatives inspired by the Governor's plan, specifically addressing grocery and gas taxes. We are wiping out the state sales tax on groceries for 6 months, and we're similarly stopping higher gas taxes from taking effect this summer. It's as simple as that. I support the Governor's initiatives to drive down skyrocketing costs and give people some needed relief. Now, I'll turn it over to Senator Gillespie, who will talk about her part of the plan. Senator Gillespie.
Hi, I'm Senator Ann Gillespie from the 27th District. Under this plan, many taxpayers would get 2 relief checks. Senator Bennett outlined the first. I'm here to talk about a property tax relief plan that would send checks of up to $300 to homeowners to begin to help with local property taxes. The check is based on the property tax credit you get on your state taxes. Property owners making up to $250,000 individually or $500,000 jointly would receive a one-time check to offset property taxes up to $300. By providing people with a property tax refund, we are giving them some breathing room. They can choose to spend the money however they wish. While this doesn't completely address the burdensome costs associated with property taxes and issues local taxing bodies need to start prioritizing, it will provide relief to Illinoisans. And this plan mirrors what the Governor has proposed in his budget address earlier this year. And I'll now turn it back over to Senator Bennett.
Thank you, Senator. My colleague, Senator Mike Hastings, is sponsoring a very important part of this proposal, the back-to-school sales tax holiday, but he couldn't be with us here today, so I'm here to explain it. Many parents may already be worried about the expense of purchasing new clothes or school supplies for the children for the fall. So we know we need to lessen that burden. This plan would implement a state sales tax holiday from August 5th to August 14th of 2022, a 10-day period including 2 weekends, to lessen the cost of qualifying clothing and shoes up to $125 and school supplies with no price cap. As a parent myself, like Senator Hastings, I know how expensive school supplies can be, particularly at the beginning of the year. And the price of pencils, notebooks, and new clothes for growing little ones that just fit in that outfit last year but now need different sizes adds up quickly, especially for families with multiple children. By providing people with relief, we are also incentivizing them to spend locally. States like Missouri and Iowa have implemented this in years past, and our retailers on the Illinois side of the border lose that comparison when Illinois residents go across the border. In border districts like mine, that includes Danville, states that don't do this, like Indiana, we're hoping we can draw some out-of-state parents into our state to benefit from the sales tax holiday and spend some money here in our state. By providing people with relief, we believe it's a win-win for our families and our businesses alike. And I'm now going to turn it over to Senator Omar Aquino.
I'm a different size too. Will I get it?
I've definitely made sure that husky-sized clothes were included in this as as a child of those sizes myself. I'm going to turn it over to Senator Aquino. Thank you.
And were they tough skins?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Senator Omar Aquino, representing the 2nd Legislative District. I want to thank Senator Bennett. Today, we are signaling to some of our most at-risk communities that we haven't forgotten about them. While cases of the COVID-19 pandemic are dwindling, the financial impact on the pandemic put on our families continues. It's the working families in all corners of our state who are facing these struggles. I am proposing in this package an increase to the earned income tax credit from 18 to 19% of the federal EIC. We know that the earned income tax credit is one of the most effective anti-poverty. Excuse me, let me say that one more time. We know that the earned income tax credit is one of the most effective anti-poverty policies in the nation. And the earned income tax credit lifts our state's low to moderate income families out of poverty through promoting work and expanding economic security. I want to make a key point in that. We have families out there making decisions if they go to work or if it's more affordable to stay home and take care of their children because of the high cost, especially to child care. And this is an initiative to make sure that those folks can actually go to work, and that's what we want people to do, is to be able to go to work, and provide for their families. And so the increase to this is certainly needed throughout our state. But it has an even greater impact on 3.6 million Illinoisans who receive it when it comes to increasing children's educational performance and attainment and improving health outcomes. These families rely on us for help. We must show them we see and acknowledge the need for more. And with that, I will turn it over to Leader Linda Holmes.
Thank you, Senator Aquino. I'm Senator Linda Holmes. I represent the 42nd District. I don't think anybody can argue that in the past couple years throughout the pandemic, the teachers have been absolute heroes. They've gone above and beyond to make sure that children continue to receive a quality education, and they often spend their own hard-earned money on educational supplies for their students. This plan gives them a break by giving them a tax credit of up to $300 for supplies they have bought for their classrooms. Teachers, no matter if it's their first year or their 21st year, deserve our help after all they've endured to provide children with the quality support and education. I'm now going to turn this over to my colleague, Senator Christopher Belk.
Thank you. Thank you, Leader Holmes. I am Chris Belk. I am State Senator for the 57th District. There are heroes in every community in our state who risk their safety for no pay as volunteer firefighters and emergency medical service personnel. They are taken away from their families to keep people safe with little in return. That's why it's clear an initiative to get more people to join our volunteer fire departments and encourage more long-term volunteers is vital for our community. Today, I'm proposing a $500 tax credit for anyone who served at least 9 months in the previous year as a volunteer firefighter or EMS provider. These people put their lives on the line each day. The least we could do is provide them with a thank you. And with that now being said, I'll turn it over for questions and answers. Thank you.
What's temporary, what's permanent of this package? Is it all temporary?
That's the beauty of the plan, is that the package it benefits taxpayers, but as we mentioned, and Senator Aquino mentioned, the earned income tax credit, that is a permanent increase in the benefit of that package. But the beauty of this plan is that it benefits not only taxpayers across the state. We have invested, they've invested in us, and now we are investing in them by paying it forward and making sure that they have the ability to to help themselves and their families.
How are you paying for it now, just the additional revenue?
Well, as we're going through the budgeting process, additional revenues have been made available, and we've looked at those revenues as you looked at the governor's budget that was proposed in February. There was $1 billion in tax relief that was planned there. So that tax relief that was planned, we've built on that based on the new revenues that are available.
What's the source?
Again, there are new revenues that are available. The governor outlined revenue sources that was in his plan, and there are new revenues that have been identified from all sources that based on the rebounding economy, which has really allowed us to look at these sources and provide for this plan.
After there's like a $400 million surplus at the end when we're done spending through this year. Are you taking any of the money away from programs that the governor is proposing?
As I mentioned, and you heard from each one of my colleagues, the property tax relief that the governor proposed is included in our plan.
Right.
The gas tax and grocery tax relief that's proposed is included in our plan. So we're not taking any of those ideas away.
More than what he's proposing.
Again, there are other items and elements included in this plan that are not included in the governance, and we understand that.
The governor proposed a 1-year freeze on the grocery tax. You've only got 6 months in there. What's the?
Again, we're trying to make sure that we recognize the overall impact and how this is going to be good for families and how they've invested in us, so we continue to invest in them.
It says wipes out higher gas tax.
Hannah, did you have one?
Does the 6-month suspension of the gas tax represent an agreement between,
This is a proposal. No, this is a proposal, and that's why we're making the proposal today, so we can have those discussions. We want everybody to have the opportunity to see it, and that's what you're seeing right here today. That's why the proposal is getting out there.
Forecasters are predicting a slowdown in the economy in the next year and a half. I mean, doesn't the 6-month nature of a lot of these things kind of just set families up for a cliff, and that cliff will be, coming around like right after Christmas?
We will be in session at the end of this year, so we'll have the ability to review all of these proposals at that time. But that's why the legislature is in session in the fall veto session. We have the opportunity to look at emerging issues at that time.
The gas tax, how much is that going to be? Is it 2 cents increase that's supposed to take effect July 1st, or?
Well, yeah, there are some estimates that the increase could be up to 3.5 cents. So that's why we're making sure that we want to make sure that families are not hit hard. Inflation is a real problem for families across the state, and we want to make sure we're protecting them.
Why not address the sales tax on top of that? That apparently, Republicans are pushing for that, saying that right now the state's getting a windfall just because of how expensive gas is. The sales tax on top of that means the state's getting a lot more money they didn't anticipate. Why not pay that forward?
Well, again, this entire plan invest in families. This plan, you don't see just one proposal. You've seen everything from investing in low-income individuals to property tax owners. That's why we have a comprehensive plan, not just one.
Did your
The
caucus
tax
brief about those
rebates,
assets?
the $100 tax rebates, you say will be going out in the fall of 2022. Will it be before or after Election Day?
It would hopefully be out as soon as possible. There are going to be thousands of checks that the Department of Revenue is going to have to put together. So it's going to take some time. So hopefully we want them out as soon as possible, but that's going to start July 1 as the budget takes effect.
And I wasn't trying to flip it.
No, I know you weren't.
But it's going to be seen as, hey, voters, here's a check.
Well, that is not our goal. Our goal is to make sure that we protect families and we continue to invest in them and pay it forward, pay their money back to them so they are the best determinants of how their funds can be spent.
The earned income tax credit's permanent. What about the the volunteer firefighter program? Is that permanent, or the $250 for teachers? Is that permanent?
The volunteer firefighter $500 tax credit is would be a permanent fix for firefighters.
And the teacher's credit, is that temporary or would that be ongoing?
That would be ongoing. I think we've known for many, many years, anybody who has teachers in their family or friends that are teachers, understand that teachers have for decades always pulled out of their own pockets to help their classrooms if they need educational materials. So we're just raising this. I mean, let's face it, as time passes, things get more and more expensive, so it's nice to give teachers a little more back, because they've been spending this money anyway.
Can you refresh me on how much of this is from ARPA?
None of it.
If you answered zero, that's fine.
So, yeah, none of the resources from ARPA are used to fund the pay it forward plan.
Is the
Senator,
6 month,
you know, there's
LG,
been
is the
recently
6 month, you know, on the gas tax, the sales tax, 6 months, is that reflective of your desire to review it after?
No, it's a proposal. John, we want to get, it's a proposal. We want everybody to have the opportunity to see it. That's why we're here talking to everybody
Right, but I
today,
mean,
so everybody has the
instead of
chance to see
making
it.
a year like the governor, you're making it 6 months. Is that so you can judge whether it can continue after 6 months?
We'll make those, I think those are decisions that will happen over time. We wanted to make sure that we got this proposal in front of everybody, so you had the opportunity to see it. But again, this is a comprehensive plan. This plan addresses a myriad of issues, from property taxes to direct support for individuals, for direct support for low-income individuals. This plan deals with the high cost of groceries and inflation that everyone is seeing, the high cost of gas. That's why you see a very comprehensive plan.
Did you
Senator
brief the
Aquino,
governor's
will-
office before this?
I'm sorry.
Did you brief the governor's office?
We've talked to the governor and the governor's staff on an ongoing basis. We're talking about the budget on an ongoing basis, and we're hoping to, as we move towards adjournment, as we always do.
Mike, go ahead.
Will there be an attempt to put the child tax credit in here as well? I know you talked about the earned income tax credit, but a lot of people are waiting for that child tax credit as well.
Well, as seen in that one-time proposal, is that families are going to get a benefit in $50 per child up to three children, and so certainly there is part of that. But as said, this is a proposal that is, we want to get out there so that we can not only get at the table and talk to the governor and his folks, and also there's another side of the building as well that has to be a part of this conversation. But the Senate Democrats are putting our proposal on the table and wanting to support families throughout the entire state.
Last
You know, some of the
question.
things they're talking about as well.
Have you talked to any economists or any groups that kind of looked at inflation? Because there's kind of debate on whether more money helps in dealing with inflation.
Then, and that's exactly why the earned income credit was such a critical part of the plan for us, because it is, and that's why that permanent change is happening. Because, as Leader Aquino mentioned, the earned income credit is one of the best poverty prevention tools we have in our disposal. That's why we wanted to have that as part of our plan. Thanks, everybody.
You know, just sign. You sign it. Big dog, you sign the placards. Will you sign the placards for me? Sure. Yeah, I'll just send it to you. Does it bother you?